So day 2 of the NFL draft is in the books, and with that said, I have some picks that I really was a big fan of, actually a lot of them, and there were a handful of picks I was not really a big fan of. So in this video we'll go over all of those. Leave in the comments some of the picks you were a big fan of and ones you were not a big fan of. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and let's get into it. So we're going to start with the picks I liked, and if you know me, you know I'm putting this on here. The Jets at 34 taking wide receiver Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss. Big time toughness over the middle, and good uncontested catch. He's very reliable, he's agile, makes guys miss, he's very quick. And Ole Miss, they produced some pretty good wide receiver talent, honestly. AJ Brown and Metcalf recently. He may be a slot guy. They have Jamison Crowder, I get it, but Jamison Crowder makes a lot of money, so hopefully next year they can probably get rid of him and save themselves a lot of money. They got Zach Wilson, Elijah Vera-Tucker, now get him a very reliable slot receiver. I love this pick for the Jets. My next favorite one at number 38, we stay in the AFC East. I have the Patriots taking defensive lineman Christian Barmore out of Alabama. They capitalize on some great value here. I personally thought Barmore was going to be somewhere in the first round, probably the late teens, early 20s. They get him all the way at 38. I know the NFL does not really value defensive tackles too much, but still, Christian Barmore 38 is really good value. He should be a really good football player, really good build, has some pass rushing upside, played very well in some of the big games for Alabama. Did only play for 1 year, but still, we saw enough to realize this guy's going to be really good, and I think the Patriots got a really good value here on day 2. The next pick at number 39, I think the Bears traded up here. I honestly don't remember because there were so many trade ups and trade downs in this draft, well, especially today. But at 39, the Bears took offensive tackle Tevin Jenkins, probably going to play right tackle for them out of Oklahoma State. This was really good value once again. I thought this guy would be a first-round pick for sure, somewhere in the early 20s. Really good run blocker, played against good competition, very strong hands. He's 6'6", 310, aggressive mindset, pancakes guys, crazy upper body strength. Yes, he's 23 years old, not the best length or feet, but at the same time, I think he's going to be very good. I love this pick for the Bears. Very good value at number 39. Next one at number 43, I have the Las Vegas Raiders, and usually I don't agree with the Raiders picks. This one I absolutely love though, and it's funny, in my mock draft I made about a week ago, I had the Raiders taking this guy in the first round, safety Trayvon Merrick out of TCU. They get him at number 43, which is incredible value, honestly. So I went over in that mock draft how the Jonathan Abram experiment at free safety has to stop. They have to move him in the box more, and Merrick can be that guy. He's a big time playmaker, good length, hard hitter, explosive, can cover any position group. He could be better versus the run, and his recovery speed's not the best, but still, this is a very solid football player. I expect him to be a really good starter for the Las Vegas Raiders. At number 45, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they took the offensive tackle Walker Little out of Stanford. This is a tricky one because he has not played in like 2 years basically, had a knee injury in 2019, sat out in 2020, but at one point this guy was supposed to be a top 10 pick. He played so well in that 2018 season, so the high end of Walker Little, we know how good he can be, and Jacksonville, their tackle play is atrocious. Cam Robinson, Jawan Taylor, I still hold out some hope for Jawan Taylor, but Cam Robinson seems like a lost cause for me. I love this Walker Little pick. Yes, it's a bit risky, but the guy is awesome in pass protection. He's like 6'7". Matt Miller had him as his offensive tackle number 1 before 2019. So this guy has the chance to be really good. Good value in my opinion. I like this pick for Jacksonville. At number 47, the Los Angeles Chargers took cornerback ASANTE Samuel Jr. out of Florida State. I love this player very much. I know he's 5'10", but he has versatility. He can play outside and inside in my opinion. Very high IQ player. He's able to read and react very well. Some very big hits for a guy his size as well. And I think he could play some free safety if you need him to. I know they have Derwin James, of course, but still, Nasir Adderley. But they did lose Casey Hayward. They have Chris Harris, who's now getting older. This is a really good pick in my opinion. It's kind of a need for the Chargers in that secondary. I do like their safeties, but their corners are a bit weak right now. I think ASANTE Samuel Jr. is going to be a really good pick for the Chargers. At number 50, my New York Giants took AZEEZ OJULARI, the edge rusher out of Georgia. This is after they traded down too to make it even better. He knows how to get low. He wins on the edge. Incredible bend. I think has some strength to him. Could be a bit stronger, of course, but I do like him a lot at number 50. It's really good value. The Giants do need an alpha pass rusher. They have some other options like Lorenzo Carter and Cam Brown and O'Shane Ximines, but no really established pass rusher there. I feel like AZEEZ OJULARI kind of got pushed down the board because of his degenerative knee issues. Don't know how serious that is. Maybe it's nothing. I don't know. But if he stays healthy, I like this pick for the Giants. It's a great scheme fit as well. So AZEEZ OJULARI is going to be a good fit in New York, in my opinion. Number 52, the Browns took Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, the linebacker linebacker, well, defender I can call him, out of Notre Dame, and I don't know how Andrew Berry continues to do it, but he does it. One of the better GMs in football, in my opinion. The Browns get themselves another good one here. This guy's been compared to Isaiah Simmons, who went in the top 10 last year, by the way. He has great burst, explosiveness, very smooth hips, very, very good coverage ability. He plays at 1 speed, which is not the best thing, of course, but that can be fixed with some coaching. Guy has great range, wraps up well. I like him a lot. Can play some slot corner too as a linebacker, which is insane. The Browns needed linebacker to help badly, and to get this guy in the second round is awesome value. At number 53, the Tennessee Titans took offensive tackle Dylan Radins out of North Dakota State, a guy that I thought maybe could be a first round pick in the late 20s, early 30s, but the guy has amazing explosiveness and get off. You really can't bull rush him. He has great pro day numbers, performed very well at the Senior Bowl. He is a bit on the small side weight-wise. His hand placement's very good. He's really good in the run game. He is a mauler. So there's a lot to like here with a guy like this. And the Titans, of course, have a hole at right tackle. The whole Isaiah Wilson experiment did not go very well for the Titans, as we know. So I like the value, I like the player, and I like the pick for the Titans across from Taylor Lewan. At number 61, the Buffalo Bills took the edge defender Carlos Basham Jr. out of Wake Forest. He has amazing power for 285 pounds, legit explosiveness and agility for that size. He sheds blocks easily. Just wasn't consistent enough, which is probably why he fell to the second round. He tries to finesse guys too much, probably more of a defensive end in a 4-3, which is why I like this fit as well. And he is probably in my top 5 or 6 edge rushers in this class, so to get him in the pretty late stages of the second round was a good pick in my opinion. Last year the Bills took AJ Epinesa in round 2. They get another talented guy here in Carlos Basham. I like this fit here for Buffalo. At number 76, the New Orleans Saints took cornerback Paulson Adebo from Stanford, one of my favorite corners in this draft, well, sleeper corners I should say, but this is a good fit in my opinion. They got rid of Janoris Jenkins or let him walk. He went to Tennessee, I believe. They also have some legal issues with Marshawn Lattimore, not sure if he'll be suspended or not, but Paulson Adebo has really good ball skills. He has great length, plays the catch point very well. He's not the best athlete, which is probably why he fell. Took some bad angles in the run game, so maybe he won't do much there, but as a corner playing the ball, he does a fantastic job. He has that build to be a shutdown corner. I'm excited to see what he does for the Saints. At pick number 81, the Miami Dolphins took tight end Hunter Long out of Boston College. I know they have Mike Gesicki, but I do like Hunter Long a lot. He definitely is a capable receiver with decent athleticism. He'll make some tough contested catches. He's a pretty good run blocker, just does everything at a competent level. He's not really bad at anything. He doesn't do some things well, but he's also not bad at anything. I don't expect him to be a top 3, even top 5 tight end anytime soon, probably never in his career, but he's going to be a solid player in my opinion. To get him in the 3rd round is a good pick. Now, he won't blow you away as an athlete. He's not really a great route runner, not really elusive, but still, he's solid at everything. I think can be a decent starter if Mike Gesicki does not earn a second contract with the Dolphins. At number 82, the Washington football team took wide receiver DYAMI Brown out of North Carolina. So you pair him with Terry McLaurin, they signed Curtis Samuel, you have Ryan Fitzpatrick slinging the rock there. This could be a nice little offense here for Washington. They didn't get themselves a quarterback for the future, but Fitzpatrick can still play in this league, and DYAMI Brown is going to be at least a solid wide receiver too in my opinion. So he knows how to get open downfield, he's good after the catch, has some toughness. He's 6'1", 185. Maybe you wish he weighed a bit more, but not a problem to me. Has good strength, has good releases off the line. He did run a limited route tree of North Carolina, not really his fault, but he can do everything. I definitely believe that. He's a bit undersized, not a freak athlete. Sometimes contested catches were an issue, even drops, but still, he should be a good wide receiver too. You put him as the 3rd guy behind Samuel and McLaurin. I think Washington will see a good return here for the pick of DYAMI Brown. So I have the Broncos coming up for a few picks here. So I love Javonte Williams. He was one of my favorite running backs in this class. They got him early in the 2nd round, traded up for him. I'm not the biggest fan of trading up for a running back, but I absolutely love his talent. They did sign Melvin Gordon last year, so I don't know why they would do that exactly, but still, I do love Javonte Williams from a talent standpoint. At number 98, they got guard Quinn Miners out of Wisconsin Whitewater, 6'3", 320. His hands are over 10 inches, has a huge upper body. We saw this guy lifting wood and doing stuff in the woods, working out in the woods during the time in 2020 when there was no season for him. He played left guard for Wisconsin Whitewater, and this guy's very good in space. He was throwing guys around. He's good on stunts. He has a great build for an interior offensive lineman. Great coordination. He was really good at the Senior Bowl. He did play center, could play guard. I know Denver drafted Lloyd Cushenberry last year. If he continues to struggle, at least you have a backup option, but I really do like this pick a lot. He's a guy that's very explosive, has experience there, and the Broncos have picked number 105 took linebacker Baron Browning out of Ohio State. Great physical tools. He's a scary tackler coming downhill. He got better in 2020. He knows how to win his one-on-one matchups versus offensive linemen. He did struggle with some reactions and reads and doesn't have too much anticipation, but Baron Browning definitely has the tools to be a really good linebacker in this league. At pick number 100, the Tennessee Titans took cornerback Elijah Molden out of Washington, probably more of a slot guy at 5'10", 190. He's a really solid tackler for his size, broke up 17 passes in 1.5 seasons. He plays with no fear out there. He does lack length and it makes it hard for him to play other positions. He's a bit undersized, relegated to one position, which is probably going to be slot corner, but he does have great instincts and knows how to shed blocks, so I do like this pick for Tennessee, especially for a team that lost Desmond King, who they traded for. I think King went to the Texans, so now there's a hole at cornerback. They lost Adoree Jackson, they lost Malcolm Butler, they lost to just about everybody in their secondary, Tennessee, so getting Elijah Molden here late in day 2 was a really solid pick. Alright, so now I have 5 picks that I was not really a big fan of. So first one I have is the first pick of the second round, Tyson Campbell, the cornerback out of Georgia. So Jaguars fans, don't get on my ass. I liked Walker Little, I like the pick of Andre Cisco as well. I just don't know about Tyson Campbell. They already have CJ Henderson, they have Shaquille Griffin, they have Sidney Jones. Where's this guy going to play? I understand building through your secondary, I definitely believe in that, but Tyson Campbell has his issues with the ball skills, not much ball production in his career. Can he play the ball downfield? I have no idea. So I have my concerns about Tyson Campbell. I hope to be wrong about this one. There's a reason they took him at 33 overall, but still, I have my concerns when it comes to Tyson Campbell. The next pick I was not really a big fan of is number 57 with the Rams, wide receiver Tutu Atwell out of Louisville. So the Rams wide receiver depth right now is not really a concern. They have so many other holes on this roster. You have Robert Woods, you have Van Jefferson, you have Cooper Kupp. They even have Deshaun Jackson, who will probably play for 2 games before getting hurt, but they have so many other holes. Offensive line, some pieces on their defensive line, especially their secondary. They lost guys like John Johnson this offseason, so definitely some linebacker help. They go for a wide receiver 4, basically, a guy that's probably going to be a gadget player, a guy that's compared to Tavon Austin and Jakeem Grant. Is that really worth a second round pick? I would say no. I wouldn't put it past Sean McVay to scheme up some good looks for him, but still, to scheme up that for a guy in the second round seems like a massive reach to me. So maybe I'll be wrong about this one, but I just did not see that as the biggest need for the Los Angeles Rams. The next pick I was not really a fan of was number 60 overall, quarterback Kyle Trask out of Florida. So first off, I wasn't really the biggest Kyle Trask guy, but you really couldn't improve elsewhere on this roster. Tom Brady's gonna be there for another year or 2 at least, I would think. You're coming off a Super Bowl, that's great, but why not go for more roster building depth? Kyle Trask just is not it, in my opinion. He's not too impressive to me. He has an average arm, not much mobility. He's like an Alex Smith type of guy, in my opinion. I would not really go for that as my future quarterback option behind Tom Brady. Why not build some more offensive line depth? I know they got Joe Tryon in the first round, which was a good proactive move for Jason Pierre-Paul's contract being up next year, but I just don't know how to make sense of this Kyle Trask pick. So maybe he'll end up being the next great quarterback in this league. I don't see it happening, but I just feel like for a team with a Super Bowl window, why spend the second round pick on a guy that's going to ride the bench? The next pick I was not a fan of was number 67. It was more of me just being confused. The Texans took quarterback Davis Mills out of Stanford. So I like Davis Mills from a talent standpoint. I think he has some zip on the ball, has NFL caliber arm strength and good accuracy. He gets the ball out quickly. I feel like he's pretty NFL ready at this point. But you have 25-year-old Deshaun Watson. Unless you're 100% sure you're trading Deshaun Watson, I don't understand this pick whatsoever. Maybe sometime in July or August we see Deshaun Watson get traded and okay, then maybe I get it a bit more. But this Texans roster needs so much depth. They are terrible. And to take a quarterback behind your 25-year-old quarterback who's still under contract for a long time, I personally don't get it. So if Davis Mills ends up being the starting quarterback there next year, then fine, I understand. But right now, he's the second quarterback, so I don't really know what they're doing here. Maybe they are trading Watson, I have no idea, but we'll see what happens there with the Texans. The final pick I was not really a big fan of is number 73 by the Eagles. They took defensive tackle Milton Williams out of Louisiana Tech, a very raw player, had an awesome pro day, I will say. His pro day was very impressive. He put up some of the best metrics of any prospect in this draft, but there are some rumors that the the Eagles got sniped here. Apparently there was some bad looks on the faces of the Eagles executives and coaches in the war room after this pick was made. There's a rumor that maybe they got sniped by the Lions, who took Aleem McNeil, the defensive tackle out of NC State. They went for Milton Williams to pick after, so maybe that's a possibility. I don't know. But Milton Williams, he's undersized, has 1 year of experience on the interior, didn't really have many pass rushing moves, just relied on a bull rush and his strength way too much. He's a 1 year wonder, didn't really do too much in his first 2 years, and he didn't really do much against the only good offensive line he played this year, which was BYU. He was basically invisible in that game, so that's a concern as well. When you're facing good talent, he did not step up to the occasion. So I could be wrong, because this guy has an insane athletic profile. He definitely has the tools. We have to see if he puts it together. But that'll do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave in the comments some of your favorite and least favorite picks of day 2, and I'll talk to you guys next time.